Hi, I apologize. We had a little bit of a technical difficulties with the first video, but we are about to start our promise IG live with our friends for Wow Book and Toy. Um, so let me just invite her. Have the pleasure to meet her and my friend Tonisha. We can have a conversation.
Oh,
Hey!
hey. Okay, make sure. Can you hear me?
Yes, I am.
Okay. How are you doing?
Fine, finally.
Yeah, sorry.
Sometimes it's not as easy, but we can do the best that we can. So I'm so glad that you're with us.
Yeah, I'm glad to see you and everything. I know we've been talking and stuff like that, but it's good to like see you, face to face.
Yeah, me too. And I feel like I already know you. I admire you a lot.
Yeah.
And you're doing such an amazing job with what you do. And I want to inspire the people that also follow my account for you to kind of like open up a lot of their minds in what you are doing.
Yeah, awesome.
So I was telling everyone in the first video, I have to cut it because we have the technical difficulties, but I was telling everyone that you are organizing the Tampa Bay Black Authors Expo in April, and everyone in Tampa area or North Florida area are really invited to check it out and support it.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's coming up April 20th, from 10 to 4. And it's, yeah, our first, inaugural Tampa Bay Black Authors Expo. And I'm really super excited about it. Everybody involved, all the authors involved, they're really passionate about what they do. It's such a wide genre, or we have so many genres that are represented here at the expo that I think anybody who likes to read or anybody who can read will find something that they like. And I'm just thrilled for everybody to get to meet them and hear their stories, and yeah, I just want everybody to come out and have a good time. I'm just really excited about it. Yeah.
It's awesome, and hopefully, I'm kind of like trying to plan. Hopefully, I can go up there and check that firsthand because we love to keep supporting what you're doing. I feel like you're an amazing example, and I love like pretty much what you're doing with your child, with your crafts. Like, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Oh, thank you. Yeah. It's something, yeah, that I'm really passionate about. It kind of started. I kind of fell into things. It's crazy how the universe works and things like that. And you kind of find yourself, on a path. But yeah, I've always loved to read. And I was one of those kids who was fortunate enough that, my parents liked to read. We had books in the house. They took it to the library and stuff like that, and they really encouraged that. And I realized that not everybody, especially in our communities and black and brown communities, not everybody is exposed to that. And, even if it's not necessarily black books, I want them to just be able to pick up a book. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's somebody they can, see themselves in it. So, yeah, I had a child, and of course, I wanted to pass that on to him, and so I just kind of fell into this. I love bringing new books to people, and I love to see their face light up when they say, "Oh, hey, like I know somebody who's like that," or at least I really enjoy that part of it. The crafting thing just kind of came about, just I guess just as another creative outlet. But I really do enjoy it. I don't know what I enjoy more, selling books or crafting or making things, but I really do enjoy both. And I'm very happy that, somebody out there enjoys it too. And so
I
I've
enjoy
been,
truly all the things that you highlight in your Instagram account. You have brought to my attention wonderful books, especially from indie authors. And I love the emphasis that you do about like Black authors, and I feel like that's such a wonderful, and right now is such a market for all these materials and comic books and chapter books that children can see themselves in. And I think it's such an important thing to do, like especially as families of children of color that are usually bombarded by so many messages in the mainstream media, telling them about like who they are or their identities, and it's such a wonderful job that you're doing and trying to bring this up to the forefront, telling it how it is, and I really like it. I feel that your vibe is totally genuine. You're not doing this because of the money, or it's because you really care for the next generations.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not something that you get into to get rich off of, and if you do, it'll never be successful. And, what I'm saying, it'll never be as impactful as you want it to be. So yeah, the stuff that I do on my personal pages and the stuff I do that on my, WoWBook and Toy page. And yeah, I'm glad that you feel that because it's very genuine. I have a Black son, and some of the things that he tells me, or that he's been through, even though it hasn't been as bad as somebody else, it's still things that make you think, the fact that, a daycare, wouldn't have any inclusion of Black History Month in February at all. That daycare that he goes to. And yeah, I did speak up and say something about that. The fact that he has, natural hair and wears his hair. He's never had a haircut. He's 6 years old. I'm saying? The fact that he has his hair like that, and he says, "Oh, people like to touch my hair when it's, when it's out." It's just little things like that that people don't. I think that, mainstream and white people, they don't really realize, how these things can impact. And it starts from, like you said, from babies. And microaggression, these things that, people go through, and you want to speak out about it. You want to have a way as a parent to talk to your kids about it, to shield them from that, or just not even to shield them because you can't shield them, but to prepare them, for things like that. And books are a wonderful tool, and I find pleasure and I really enjoy it, and I feel like it's, not a calling, but just I really feel passionate about, bringing that to people, and just sharing things like that. So yeah, I'm glad that you pick up
Yeah,
on that vibe or whatever, and I love it. Yeah.
that we are getting together. We have never met in person, but I think, since the beginning, we kind of like, oh, we like kind of like the same things. We're kind of like in the mission of raising children right now and making them more aware of, who they are, being proud of who they are. And definitely, I feel like there's a lot of people that are very mindful about like what's going on right now, with race issues. You cannot avoid it. And as a Latina living in the United States, like I came here when I was like a teenager, and I found out like so many things that I had never thought about, especially in the race department. Like I was like, oh my gosh, I never feel this way. I never, like, why are you telling me this? Like, I'm a person, and they were like immediately putting you in like a box or like stereotyping. And now that I'm a parent, I'm always like very aware that these things happen, especially living in, many, communities are not as open. But I think it's very important to bring these conversations to the table. I actually just had the opportunity to watch a video of the wife of Will Smith. I'm sorry, what's the
Oh, Jada?
Yeah, Jada, and she's starting like a conversation about like, okay, what's going on with feminism, white feminism, and Black feminism, and I'm like, oh my gosh, all these conversations that our children are also being encountered with right now, because this is the society where they are growing up. And as a parent, I want to be able to navigate it in a way where we can openly talk about these things instead of being like, oh my gosh, gosh, we cannot talk about it. But also be mindful about, like the situations that are really happening around us. Like, for example, my daughter always talks about what happens in the MFL, and I'm like asking her, like, she's 11, but she goes to
Right.
school and she talks to her friends
And
about
they
it.
talk about stuff like that. You wouldn't think so, but kids, they talk about stuff like that. This is like the little boy in, because you're in Florida too. That's just like the little boy in Lakeland, which is just, over there east of me, getting arrested behind not saying the Pledge of Allegiance or whatever. It's things that kids are going through that we don't even think about. I'm saying that they go through so much. Especially it feels like it's more in the news now with everything being so 24/7, especially with stuff going on with, our current president. I feel like the current climate, everything just feels really charged,
Yes.
and and our kids are going through that. So,
Oh,
yeah.
yes, definitely. And how much we need to educate our children. I don't feel necessarily, in a call of educating other people, but it's good to inform them. Uh, like, for example, that the so-called reverse racism that doesn't really exist. We need to explain why doesn't exist. Like, this is a story that they brought up, like, somewhere, definitely from a white supremacist agenda. But like, I wonder if you will be able to elaborate a little bit, or if you feel comfortable if I can explain it also. I don't know.
Um, yeah, I mean, you know what? Even just on my dealings and stuff like that, on my personal, social media and stuff like that, you know, um, it's a thing that people really do feel that there is just some kind of, yeah, reverse racism. And I don't even, I mean, it's hard for me to say I can understand where they're coming from, but I really can't. I guess have, when you don't realize maybe the power or the privilege that your skin color has, when you've always been used to having everything your way or never experiencing any kind of trouble or issue, then I guess you can, live in that world and not see, things that other people go through. But, yeah, there is no such thing as reverse racism. It's, white people are not being oppressed. It's nothing about it. I think the thing people want to say, I see this meme a lot. Being pro-black doesn't mean anti-white. The fact that, quote unquote minorities, that black and brown people are standing up for themselves and voicing, how we feel, that doesn't mean that we're anti-white. It just means that, we're, anti-racism, systematic, racism, anti-institutions that keep people, keep people oppressed. And I think that's where
They
people
only
get in their
understand for
feelings
me.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
what I've been trying to kind of explain to people, because I have many times I have people telling me, like, oh, but I'm also, like, oppressed. Like, I also went through so and so, and I'm like, we are not trying to compare here. It's just not like a
what?
country.
There's poor white folks out there too. I get it.
Who's more
Yeah.
oppressed than. I'm trying to kind of make you aware that we are indeed living in a system that creates this innate inequality, because it was based on that kind of mentality. And I love, like, how many people have been trying to explain this from decades. This
Yeah.
is not a new thing, like, going on. This is like, wow, we're talking something like, this is not revolutionary, by the way. Like, many people in the past have talked about things, but I found it very funny that, many times people of color, when we want to say things, oh, it's because you're discriminated. I'm like, why are you saying these? Like, oh, you're feeling in any way kind of like oppressed? Like, are you feeling like, like, are you trying
Yeah.
to identify with that? Because in all seriousness, you should, like, at least try to put yourself in the position of that person. And
Exactly.
don't
Yeah. I mean, when the rules and laws have been made up, with you in mind, and at the exclusion of everybody else, I guess, yeah, it can feel like a disruption to your life that other people included, or that other people, speak their voice. So I mean, I guess I get it, but I'm really, at this point in my life, I'm really not here for white tears. I'm really not here for people's feelings being hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, this is real life people are going through. You know what I'm saying? It's real life. It's
Yeah,
real
we're
things that
talking
are
about
happening. You know,
yeah, and
and
we're talking here about raising children that are
right,
having to deal with these situations day to day because we have gone through as parents, and we are
exactly.
older and we can maybe understand in a different level. Children don't see it the same way, and that's why it's so important to have this conversation, but healthy conversations instead of like, like just like, oh, maybe we shouldn't talk about this. Like,
Yeah.
no, we can talk about it, and I think that's why it's so important to have friendships at all levels. It's difficult. I have found out that it's very difficult, especially in this country, because everybody's busy, everybody is in their own mindset, and but I think that's one of the reasons I wanted to do these community friends lives. I want to create good bonds with people that I think we are totally doing what we are called to do, which is creating community, even though uh, we are far away. Like maybe
Yeah.
you don't live in my community, but I feel you close because you are also raising children. You are also trying to do something positive for your community and being proud of who you are. And I feel like that's so important.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I do too. And I love it. It's a way to connect and a way to, learn and understand people and, get exposed to how other people live. And sometimes that's all you need is just that exposure,
Yes.
to something different.
Yes.
And yeah,
Instead of creating fear, we can create commonalities. But we should never forget that the other person's experience is very valid. Um,
exactly. Yeah.
like because I feel like I found it very offensive when people tell me, "Oh, they should just get over it," like, and I'm like, "What do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? Like, like you cannot tell another person that their experience is not valid. Like,
Right.
how people? It's like telling someone, you love, like, no, you're just making it up. Um, no, you need to listen and be with them. And in many ways, for me, being with my friends, and I consider you my friend, even though I have never seen you in person, but I feel like you're doing the same thing as a mother, which is like we're trying here. We're really trying to put our hearts out every time we post something in Instagram or Facebook or organize an event. We're putting ourselves out there for the sake of new generations, for the sake of changing what is going on. And because this is not fine. We're not happy of what's going on, but we are also very aware that we have a responsibility in creating a new space. And that's something that I'm very happy that you're doing in your community. I love the way you support your community. And I love that you're organizing the Black Authors Tampa Bay event.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. I'm really happy to. Like I said, it's something I'm really excited about. It's an opportunity like for them to get their stories out and inspire. Yeah, the next generation to be, the next Toni Morrison, the next, James Baldwin. Who knows? But
Yes.
it's nice to see
I
that.
love to feel that way too, like
Yeah,
who knows? We are creating these spaces where our children are able to freely create and freely express themselves, and we are willing to protect them. And we want to tell our communities that also get involved in protecting them. All children deserve safe spaces, and we shouldn't be even talking about this, but sadly we are in 2019 and we still need to talk about like how we should be creating safe spaces for all children, not only for some kids, uh,
hmm,
refugee children, Latino children, Black children, all of them deserve safe spaces. And
hmm,
we are mothers and we hurt for all of the children and we should be, keep advocating and keep speaking up. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you feel kind of like very alone, but sometimes, I want to encourage everyone who's like maybe watching this video, like say, oh, maybe, yeah, I feel alone doing this, or sometimes I speak up and they tell me I'm crazy or I'm an angry woman. That happens a lot. Uh, but no, you're not alone. And you can collaborate with us and feel free to reach out. So I want to highlight a little bit of what you do. Can you tell us, where they can find you, where they can support the work that you do?
Yeah, well, they can find me. Actually, this Saturday, I'll be at an event hosted by the Redefiners World Language out in Tampa at University Mall. They're having their Black Heritage Expo, so I'll be out there Saturday. I'm online only, and so I try to get out every month and do different events around the Tampa Bay area, to get out there and, I connect with everybody. So February 23rd, yeah, that's the Saturday. I'll be out there at University Mall from 1 to 5. And then the next planned event is our Black Authors Expo on April 20th. It's being held in Clearwater. And actually the place that we're having it, More Eventful Event Hall in Clearwater, is another Black-owned business, which I love. Is Tiffany Moore, her and her husband. So they just opened up in November. So we'll be hosting at her event hall, which is really beautiful. So I'm excited to include, like I said, it's at a Black venue. We're having Black authors. I will announce our headliner here, I think, coming up soon. So, yeah, I'm just really excited about everything, just being a really good vibe, a really positive energy for the Bay Area. I want it to be something that we can have every year, and to be bigger and bigger, and to really celebrate, the writers that we have here. Because like I said, we have, a math teacher. We have, someone who's written a book about, experience dealing with an absentee father. We have a Black Panther, and he's going to be at our expo, I'm talking about his book and his experience. And so it's a lot of talent here in the Bay Area that I want people to see. And I really want to, like you said, create a safe space, a really welcoming vibe for everybody to come and enjoy and have a good time, bring the kids out and everything. And that's really my mission, and like I said, it's part of my whole, goal. And so I'm really excited to have everybody join. And that's really the next two events that I have kind of planned right now. Like I said, other than that, we're online.
You have that on your Facebook and also at
I
your
sure do. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
so come
yep.
to WoWBook and Toy Store,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yep.
So for anybody, I will be posting this on my IGTV also, and also on my website with some of the answers of the questions that Tonisha answered for us. I
Oh,
hope
yeah.
I'm
Okay.
saying your name correct. I don't know.
Huh?
Did I say your name correctly?
Yeah, Tanisha. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, I have an accent. I'm very proud of my accent. Like people say,
I love it. Yeah.
but I'm like, well, I feel like, English is my second language. Like, come on,
You know what's crazy is I have Khalil learning Spanish now. Since he says he's always bored, I have him doing Duolingo, and he's online learning Spanish. So I love it. We should all be bilingual. We're all moving that way anyway.
Yes,
So
definitely, and we
yeah.
are here for supporting that. And I believe that we are definitely looking into a different future, and that's why we are here. So,
Yep.
is there something that else would you like to say before we have to kind of go?
I just really want to, like I said, thank you for the opportunity. I'm so glad to finally see you, meet you. And yeah, I love the whole purpose behind this, and like I said, exposing people to, people in our communities that may not look like us, or people we may, pass by in Walmart but never stop and speak to. So I love the whole exposure to more different people and different cultures, and I love everything that you do as far as promoting Hispanic culture, and the accurate portrayal of Hispanics, and I love everything that you do. So and that's another thing that's going on is the unity among people of color. It's not just a Black thing or a Hispanic thing or an Asian thing. We're all in it together. We all want to, raise our kids in a safe environment and be happy and be proud of who we are, not have to, assimilate and not have to blend in. Why do that? So I just want to thank you and thank everybody that tuned in and waved and all that kind of stuff. And I just am blessed to be able to continue doing this. And
And
yeah,
I would say it like I believe that all of us are part of the same garden, but we don't have to be the same species. We don't have. I don't have to
exactly.
be a rose. I don't have to be like something else. And
Yeah,
and and I'm always learning from my garden in that sense. All of them live together, and all of them can collaborate to each other, and all of them have roots in the same area, but they're not attacking each other. They're not making it harder for each other. I feel like in many ways we need to learn from plants. I'm a lover of plants and animals, so but like yeah, instead of like creating bad vibes, like can we share good things and can we create good movements between each other? And I would love to see more collaboration definitely between Latinos and Black people. I can see like a lot of the new generation is working out really nice on that. And
right.
I'm looking forward to see a future where we can kind of like definitely overcome a lot of the hurdles of colonized minds and,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
unhealthy patterns, like but meanwhile all that I can do is like keep putting it out there and
Yeah.
telling people like this is my limit. I'm not going to tolerate these kind of things around me or my children. And many times it's difficult to do it in assertive ways that are not like confrontational, but I feel it's very important to be assertive in the things that we are not willing to accept. And I love Audre Lorde. She's one of my favorite authors. Like when she said, like I'm no longer accepting the things that I cannot change. like
Hmm.
like she's such a insightful, wonderful person. Because in many ways she was definitely a visionary. She saw the thing how it is, and she was calling for all of the women to
Hmm.
be in freedom, all of them. And I'm a feminist also, so and I have a daughter, and I'm raising a son who's a feminist. So I feel it's so important to acknowledge our own privilege and also to call for a change.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you, Tanisha.
Well,
So
thank you.
I hope everyone enjoyed this IG live. Like I said, I will be uploading it soon on my site and my IGTV. Many blessings, and I
Awesome.
hope we can maybe have another one soon.
Yeah, listen, I'm always open to, I love you. I'm always around, so anytime.
Welcome. Bye, friends.
All right, I'll see you later. Okay, how do you